What are you guys doing on the boat? Come on.
It's nice out here.
Why am I so good at vlogging? Yeah, Kelly, seriously? You just get recruited.
Hey, Mac, the ball's floating away. All right. Got it.
Why? Play those cards.
I had made that same dive several times that day, and I'm not sure what changed, and I probably will never know. The boat may have swung around because the tide went out. Maybe I just misstepped and didn't dive far enough toward the deep water, but on that last dive, my head hit the bottom and I felt a pop, and when I regained my wits, I realized that I was floating face down because I could feel the air on the back of my head and neck. When I tried to lift my head out of the water, I couldn't do it. Paper. Bills, bills, bills. This is one of those examples of time where most people could pick these up, go, and shut the folder. It just takes me about 30 seconds instead of 3 seconds, but I eventually get it. That's as neat as it's gonna get.
I had a phone call from Rob Corley, my son's friend. They had gone out that morning in the boats to celebrate Rob's 21st birthday. And Rob said, Mac's been hurt. They're bringing him into the Coast Guard station. And if you want to see him before they take him to the hospital, come over. And the funny thing, I was feeling embarrassed that Mac would have had an accident that called for the rescue squad, and it was just the first reaction that this was just so silly. And we dashed over to the Coast Guard station, and they were coming in, and when he came by us, he said, I can't breathe. And then they took him into the local hospital, and we followed him in. From there, they helicoptered him to a larger hospital, and we followed him there. And as soon as we arrived, the doctors said, he's paralyzed. He'll never walk again. And it was just, it was just like being hit on the head with something heavy. It was terrible.
So my C5 vertebrae was shattered. They had to do spinal fusion, used a cadaver and plates and screws. And so after my surgery, I was flown to Atlanta, to the Shepherd Center for rehabilitation. And it took several weeks to just, for my body to adjust, for me to adjust. The mental rehabilitation was worse than the physical rehabilitation. That took years. My accident caused me to grow up very quickly. I was a happy-go-lucky guy. Didn't really have any ambitions or plans. Just enjoyed waking up and seeing what the day had to offer. But the chair literally grounded me. It forced me to really take a look around and see what I was going to be capable of from my new circumstances.
From the time he was old enough to work, Mac had worked at Golf and Dolphin, which was a family entertainment center his father built years ago. So he decided that he wanted to do something that would force him to get cranked out of bed and out of the house every day.
We are in a coastal community where tourism is very popular in the summertime, and outdoor activities, family entertainment are in high demand. After we had established that I had mentally recovered enough to move on with my life and make something of myself, my parents asked me what I wanted to do. I told them that I wanted to expand Golf and Dolphin, that I wanted to add a restaurant and a bowling center, video games, an arcade, a conference center, birthday party rooms, and to them it sounded very ambitious. They were a little nervous, but I convinced them to help me out with it, and they did, and Mac Daddy's was born.
He was determined. So I said, well, you've got to prove to me that you'll do it. So he would get up and come to work in my office. And he hired a general manager and a bookkeeper and an architect and a contractor. And he built Mac Daddy's.
Okay.
You think I should call Jimmy first?
For insurance? No. I mean, we can get Jimmy's advice on. Yeah, I think some of the families would bring their kids as well. So we can do the twist. Maintenance is on top of it, so we'll get it taken care of as quickly as possible.
Good to see you, fellas. Good to see you. I remembered I was thinking maybe I can get one of the lower down Star Wars people to come to the con next year.
For a little bit. He goes to me, he said something about you, and I go, well, Mac's a great guy. And he goes, we're learning that.
My favorite analogy for life is a poker analogy. It's not the cards that you're dealt, it's how you play the hand.
Too much
You can be bitter, you can be grouchy, you can be nasty, but you're not helping yourself. You're not helping the people around you. The people around you are trying to help you. You need to help yourself. The biggest misconception that people have when someone has an accident and becomes disabled is that then that person becomes different. We don't. We stay the same. If we were a bright, shiny person before, that's who we still are. We are who we are after we have an accident. Sure, things change. Physical circumstances change. But you can treat us the same. It's okay to, you don't have to talk louder. You don't have to touch us. Just hear us. Hear us.